Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we re-diving deep into one of those chilling tales that feels like it has been whispered around campfires for generations. It's a story that blurs the line between a classic urban legend and a real, unsolved mystery. This is the story of the Babysitter's second call, and it comes from the heartland of America, Illinois. Imagine this. You're 17 years old, babysitting for a nice family in a quiet suburban home. The parents have just walked out the door, giving you their cell number for emergencies before they head off for a much-needed date night. The kids are tucked into bed, the house is silent, and you're settling in for an easy night of TV and snacks. Then, the phone rings. You glance at the caller ID, and it's the parents' number. That's odd, you think. They literally just left. Maybe they forgot something, you answer, expecting to hear the mom's friendly voice. But it's not her. It's a man's voice. It's raspy, low, and sends a shiver down your spine. He says just 3 words. Check the closet. Your heart starts hammering in your chest. Is this a prank? A wrong number? But the voice was so deliberate, so cold. Every instinct is screaming at you to ignore it, to hang up. But a morbid curiosity, the kind that always gets the better of us in scary movies, takes over. Your hand is trembling as you put the phone down and slowly walk to the hallway closet. You take a deep breath, your knuckles white as you grip the doorknob. You pull it open, and there's nothing there. Just a few old coats, a vacuum cleaner, and some dusty boxers. You let out a shaky breath, a mix of relief and confusion flooding over you. It had to be a prank, a stupid, tasteless prank. Shaken but trying to laugh it off, you go back to the living room. But the unease doesn't fade. The silence of the house feels different now. It's heavy, watchful. Every creak of the floorboards makes you jump. You try calling the parents back on their cell, just to hear their voices, to confirm they're okay and that the call was some bizarre mistake. But there's no answer. It goes straight to voicemail. You try again and again. Still nothing. Now, genuine panic starts to set in. This is no longer a funny prank. Something feels terribly wrong. You do the only sensible thing you can think of. You call the police. When the officers arrive, you recount the strange and terrifying story. They listen patiently, probably thinking it's just a teenager with an overactive imagination spooked by a prank caller. But to be thorough, they ask to trace the call. You give them the parents' cell number, the one that showed up on the caller ID. The dispatcher runs the trace, and a few minutes later, the officer's radio crackles to life. The look on his face changes from professional calm to utter disbelief. He turns to you, his eyes wide. The call didn't come from the parents' cell phone. It didn't come from anywhere outside the house at all. The trace showed that the call originated from inside the house, from the old landline phone, which had been disconnected for years. At this point, the story takes an even darker turn. The parents, they never came home. They never called again. They simply vanished. A massive search was launched, but there was no sign of them. Days turned into weeks. Then, a grim discovery was made 3 towns away. The family car was found submerged in a river. The doors were locked, the windows were up, and eerily, the headlights were still on, casting a ghostly glow through the murky water. And inside the car, on the passenger seat, the mother's cell phone was still ringing, its faint electronic chime muffled by the water. A desperate, unanswered call from a world that had moved on without them. The father's phone was never found. So, what happened? Was the voice on the phone connected to the parents' disappearance? Who was in the house that night? And how could a call be made from a disconnected landline? The case remains a chilling local mystery in Illinois. A story that leaves us with far more questions than answers. It's a terrifying reminder that sometimes the most frightening calls are the ones that come from inside the house. Thanks for listening to this unsettling tale. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you want more stories like this, and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new mystery. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.